You know how the saying goes, here today, gone tomorrow. That right there. So welcome back, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit of a story time with obviously information. I share my journey here, things that I'm learning along the way, things that I have learned and what I'm doing to better my results. With all the research that I've been doing, it has mentioned that postpartum hair loss is temporary. So I'm just doing my part to make sure that that is a fact for me. If none of what I'm speaking about what like relates to you or it doesn't ring a bell, then I would suggest to seek professional help because yeah, you might just need medical assistance. Just a quick disclaimer before we get into the video. Now, if you know me, you know I keep a G, I keep it 100, I keep it all the way real. So let me just start by saying, if you are going through hair loss, whether it be postpartum or just hair loss in general, I just want you to take a minute to think about one thing that you here and there, but it's not like a constant when it comes to how to grow your hair videos. Ciao! Can we just speak about genetics? Like before we even get into what I've been through, can we just speak about genetics? Because genetics is a big part of our makeup, obviously. And I don't know why it's not spoken about as if it doesn't contribute to the hair growth that we get or the results that we get. But please understand that just because something works for someone and it might not work for you, it doesn't mean that the advice they're giving you is wrong. So yeah, I just want to put that out there, like for real, please consider that when watching how to grow your hair back videos or you know what people post online. Of course you can try the method, you can learn, see if it works for you, but if it doesn't, understand, you know, there's more parts to just product application and products to use that contributes to hair growth. So with genetics, just a quick fact check on my research that I've done is that our bodies are obviously made up of millions of cells, and these cells replicate. So therefore our bodies become renewed, right? So what that means is that then the older we get, the more everything slows down, like your joints start paining, your hair starts thinning, and all of that. Like my mom has extremely thin hair, but I've always had thick hair. But now I'm seeing my hair getting thinner and thinner. So I know that is due to my genetic makeup. If there's a chance that it's going to happen to you, it's going to happen to you. Okay, so I've written down some tips that I've done research on with basically keeping your genetics to work at its optimum level. This is general like research that I've done. So the number one tip that I have here is to cut down smoking. So smoking suppresses the blood supply to, like, I don't know if you ever heard of the inversion method where people would like flip their hair down so that the blood rush would go down, and then you know they gain like 2 inches of hair growth. So that blood supply is what smoking is suppressing. And by the way, I have done the inversion method like in the beginning of my journey, and when I say beginning, I mean like 4 years in. It did work, but it's not normal to do that, and I wouldn't suggest it. If you want to do it, to try it by all means, but the whole keep to it thing, not for me. And then tip 2 is a healthy body. A healthy body meaning your insides, because Lord knows after baby, weight management and so. But basically with a healthy body, this has to do with your estrogen and your testosterone. Now, and this is why I speak about genetics or spoke about genetics in this video, is because there is more to just like your hair that makes up like growth. If you have less estrogen and more testosterone, that will equal a higher chance of hair loss. Because estrogen it suppresses testosterone, and that obviously leads to genetic hair loss. That is within you, right? That is inside of you. So I'm just heavily on, consider all factors before you jump onto something, which is why I said, if you do think or just listen to all of this and you're like, nope, 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 that's not me, that's not me, that's not me, then consult with the doctor, because there might be something that you don't know of that you can then learn about, and then of course, with your doctor's help, see how you can experience like the best method for hair growth. Then the next is chronic medication. I think by now we know that those harsh medications are either leads to hair loss or like a stunt in your hair growth, because I know I took antibiotics for about 2 weeks. There was something wrong with me, and yeah, when I say like my hair was falling out, my hair was falling out, like, and I knew it was the medication, because medication does that. You lose some weight when you take medication. So yeah, from that I vowed to, like, try and keep my body away from antibiotics as possible. Of course it's easier said than done, because if you're sick, you're sick, but that's just something for me personally. Balanced diet. Now I can attest to this, because when I started being natural, I did start eating right. So I will say, when I started eating right, I definitely noticed the fast hair growth I've been receiving. Of course, I've been on and off and on and off, and this is prior to having a baby. I'm talking about like 4 years, 3 years into my natural journey. I literally like would detox once a month, and then eat healthy, or as healthy as I can. Of course I would sneak in here and sneak in there, and I wasn't consistent with it, but my hair, like, I could even feel the thickness in my hair coming back, like the health of my hair. So as much as it's something to hear, but what you put in is what you would get out. So those are my 4 or 5 tips on keeping your genetics at bay so that you can perform at your optimum level. That's something that you can consider before like looking into products or anything like that. Just something you can consider outside of, because if you are telling me like, look, I do my moisturizing, I do my scalp treatments, whatever the case may be, and it's not working, then that is like the 4 or 5 tips that you can consider or think about before moving into the next stage of learning to grow your hair. Ooh, okay, story time. So postpartum. Now, just quickly, due to research, it says that postpartum is temporary, and it's basically the lack of iron levels there, and if you're not getting enough iron, then your hair loss will continue until your body has been filled with the amount of iron that it needs, and then you keep it going regularly. Now, that I can say is the truth, because the first thing I did after giving birth was stop that iron tablets. Because if I tell you about, like, this is story time, so this is real tea, the constipation levels, like, and I was alone at that time, like I was alone at home, and I couldn't handle the constipation. Like, it was not for me. I decided to stop that tablets like immediately. I didn't take it after that. I was just like, nope, nope, nope. Now, of course, I know due to stopping that, like, because think about it, we were fed like iron, calcium, folic acid, all of that while being pregnant, and then our body needed to produce enough to take care of our baby and of ourselves, right? And now after giving birth, I just stopped all of that. Didn't take no tablets, didn't take no shakes, didn't do nothing. I mean, that is my fault, I know that, but I will say I only saw my hair loss and the thinning of my hair after 6 months of having a baby. So literally by 6 months, I walked past the mirror and I just looked at the mirror, and I was like, my weight is gone. Like, I didn't see it coming. It dropped. It didn't gradually drop, which is something I hate that I didn't take care of. Like, I wish I did it like gradually and as time went on, because then I could have bowled with like the fat that I had. But I didn't. I looked in the mirror and I saw, wow, you don't have a tummy anymore. Like, of course I still had fat, but I wasn't as fat as I was like losing the baby weight. And I wasn't trying to lose the baby weight, which is why it came as more of a shock to me. And then after that 6 months, about like, let's say 8-9 months, I then started to realize that my hair was thinning. Like, it didn't stop, like it didn't grow back, it was still thinning. And I obviously, if you go down into my pictures, you will notice, or if you've been with me for a long time, you know that I've always had decay. I've always mentioned this. That is the reason why my mom would relax my hair. So my hair has always been thick. So that's how I could notice, like, whoa, you know, like even now, my hair was always like one length, unless, let me show you. This was taken way before pregnancy. If you see there, that's how thick my fro always was. And then this was after a cut of mine, but I still wasn't pregnant at that time. And you see how thick my hair was compared to now. Like, you can see gaps here. And if you see here, there was never any gaps in between. It all basically looked like one length. And even here. So before baby, my hair was thick, and that's why I could notice, ooh, what's happening here, right? Again, postpartum is normal. You're going to experience hair loss. The only way to get it back is to adjust your diet again. Try and get as much iron in. Take supplements if you have to. That's what I'm doing now. The supplements I take have folic acid, iron, biotin in them, calcium, an amount of vitamins, and yeah, it's also vegan. And yeah, like that's what I'm doing now, because of course I need to add that iron back in my body, and I do see a difference. Because okay, so now we're going into the hair section, right? Do you see that's, now let me show you even more. You see that bald spot? Now this was like a bald, I'm not flipping you off, sorry. This was like a bald spot, and since taking my vitamins, I literally have like one layer of growth. So that's how I know like my body's getting there slowly but surely. My hair as well, the thickness is starting more in my crown again. And then of course this will now always be like this, because this is now old hair, but eventually the thickness will grow, and then, you know, my ends will start looking like this again. Now I want to show you more like hair situation. I'm just gonna get a hair tie and a small comb, and I'm gonna look directly, or I'll look here because this is a mirror. So I just want to show you, let me show you the back first. So I'm going to make a line. This is my back hair, I'm sure you can see, and then this is just above that, right? Just above that, I'm taking that section. I'm just gonna tie the section away so that I don't grab anything else. So I'm gonna show you how my hair was affected, alright? This is the bottom section. Oh, did I tie it up now? This is basically right on top. So how my hair was broken off right around here, and basically like patches, just small patches in between. Now this is the length of the last layer of hair, and then just right above that, right, like yeah, let me just take here, right above that. I can even do it this way. Do you see the difference? Like how my hair is broken off. So this is now basically almost the same length as this part, where this part was longer than that because I cut my hair in layers. So this is now where the back of my neck is, and then just above that I'll even take out a new piece so you can see. This is a new piece. Look there, literally like the same amount, and this part was like longer than this section. If I take higher up, I'll take higher up here at the back, see, almost the same. I'll just take a section like this, and let me show you right here, this section, that's how much hair I have, right? That's how much hair, and then right next to it, that's my hair then. So that's how my hair has been breaking off. I'll show you again this side so you can see right under it goes till there, right literally next to it, that's the other length. So that is my journey. I've been taking my vitamins like I've mentioned. I've been adding iron to my diet, and I've just been basically like upping my hair regimen so that this hair can grow back, since I'm doing everything else, you know, like the tips I've given you, the vitamins I've been taking, and now the next step to do is basically like my hair regimen. Repetition is key for me in hair growth. So yeah, let me show you the products that I use now after all that information. Again, if I didn't cover enough, make sure to comment down below if you have more questions, or my social media handles also below if you feel like you wanted more one-on-one. I adjusted my diet, I'm taking my supplements, I'm drinking my water, and I am adjusting my hair regimen to fit more a hair growth theme than just like a wash day. So this is the products I use, and this is just going to be the extra step in how I keep my hair growing and moisturized for length retention. This is not my full regimen. I'm just explaining to you why I see a need for certain products. Again, it doesn't have to be this products. I'm just trying to explain why I use products that is like this. So the first thing you want to do is get a nourishing shampoo. Okay, I shampoo with a nourishing, it literally says the nourishing shampoo, because that helps me to clean my scalp but also leave some moisture on my scalp, so it's like soothing, and there's still moisture in my scalp that helps with my hair growth. It's not a stripping shampoo, it's not like a clear shampoo that like removes everything and your scalp is as dry as can be. So that's why I prefer using a nourishing shampoo majority of my wash days. Of course, I do go in with a cleansing shampoo and a more stripping shampoo once a month to just make sure I get everything out, but majority of my wash day consists of a nourishing shampoo. A hydrating mask, again this says that on the packaging, so that's always good, but it does the same thing. This is now just going to moisturize your hair, and then when you rinse it off completely, there's still moisture left like on your scalp, on your strands. This, we all know moisture is key for hair, curly in general, but just hair growth as well. So when you're keeping your hair moisturized, you are basically like lessening the chances of it becoming stripped, of it breaking, of it becoming dry, which then leads to breakage. So a hydrating mask, always. I always go in with an oil. Now I have a dry scalp, and also when I started my journey in natural hair, I would always oil my scalp at night. I created the fact that I used to oil my scalp religiously as to why my hair doesn't tangle so much now, because obviously all that hair that was there is now here at the end. Oils is literally all I had in my natural hair journey. I started in 2012. Products like this only came around 2015, 2016. So for a lot of that 2, 3, 4 years before natural hair products came in, I was basically only using oils and butters. That was all I had to work with, and so that was what I was created. My hair for not being so tangled now and being strong, because I used to like GHE religiously. Like I GHE like, I want to say up to like 3 times a week. It was insane, like to the point where I really like felt like I'm overdoing it, so I stopped. but I credit that to the way my hair looked like back here. Now, I have a dry scalp, so I'm always adding oil to my scalp. You do want to be careful with that because, of course, you don't want too much oil that it blocks your follicles, which will then lead to like less hair growth. But here is jojoba and almond oil in here, there's castor oil in here, so this is enough for me to put it on like once for the whole week. I might even just top it up like twice for the week, and it will keep me. So I definitely recommend an oil, especially like for the fronts. I add my oils when I do my wash day. I don't like go in randomly. If you want to do that, you could. It's just I'm always skeptical of the fact of like too much oil and then it's gonna do the opposite. And then lastly is a leave-in. Now I'm like dead set on a leave-in or leave-in adjacent. It doesn't have to be a leave-in. It can be a curling cream, a hair lotion, whatever the case may be. But the last thing I would add product wise is to make sure that your hair is nourished from the first step. So even if you slack as it goes, just make sure your first product is a nourishing one, so that the rest of your hair week, like if you're going to water it down weekly, there's still enough moisture in this product to last you even when your hair is like 80% water at that point during the week. Whew, so that is it for story time, guys. Or if there's more things that you would like to know, just comment down below, let me know. I will get to it. My social media is also down below. If you feel like it's more personal or private, you can message me there. Again, hair grows. Hair will always grow. The length of how your hair grows, that is determined by more aspects than just hair products, but your hair can and will grow. So mommies that's been reaching out to me now, understand that. Keep your irons, okay, stack up on your water bottles. Make sure that you're getting in your supplements, or you're keeping to your medication such as your iron tablets and your folic acid. But it will grow back, okay, it will. We have that type of knowledge on how to grow our hair. We know what to do. And again, if something feels like, you know, not right to you, just go and see a qualified trichologist. They specialize in hair and scalp. Maybe it's something that, you know, is happening within, and no matter how much videos you do or watch or techniques you try and it doesn't grow, professional help will always be the best solution. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, questions, comment down below, like this video if you want me to do more informative videos such as this, and yeah, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you later.